what's going on, Ted?
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm doing pretty good, man.
It's been too long.
It has. How long has it been?
I don't know. I think the last time was
Like 3 or 4 months.
at least, yeah.
Yeah, after.
We're gonna have to do this more regularly.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Have to do more regularly. So tell me, collective bias. What is it?
Well, Collective Bias is what we call it is a social shopper agency.
Mm-hmm.
If you know something about the ad agencies and how they've grown over the last 30 years, there's a subsegment called shopper advertising.
Okay.
Mars Advertising has been the #1 agency in that area for the last 5 years. What we do is we do what shopper agencies do, but we do it in the social space. So we map the path to purchase, and we help CPG companies and retailers drive more sales at retail.
Okay.
And the way we do that via social is just very simply is we build a social media shell around the path to purchase and around everything we do. And specifically, Collective Bias has a community called Social Fabric, which is made up right now of in excess of 1,700 bloggers.
Wow.
It's invitation or application only.
Right.
We want to know about them. We want to know how interactive and engaged they are. And then within that community, we do a lot of work around the shopping process, just very simply put.
Okay, very cool. So what's the process then if I want to become part of this community, part of this blog?
Well, either you're going to meet someone like me or someone from Collective Bias, who we go to events all around the country, because we like to meet most of the bloggers in our community face-to-face if we can. And we meet you via Twitter or social, or all the things that you know I'm doing around the clock.
Right.
And I say, wow, I think you'd be great for this, and we invite you into Social Fabric. Or you've heard about Social Fabric, so you come onto the site via Collective Bias, and you apply to be a member. And look, that requires being involved, because our whole thing is we want to engage people. So we could easily have 10 or 20,000 bloggers in our community, but then most of them wouldn't be actually doing anything. So once a year we close the community, we vet it out, so that when we speak about having real members, there are people that are truly involved.
Right. So it's all about engagement for you guys.
For us, it's not about the size of your audience. It's about, we believe influence is really determined by the way you engage and interact, not by how many followers you have or how many people you speak to. That's the old media model, and it has some validity. But in the blogging world, we think it's more about interaction.
I completely agree. So talk about interaction, return on relationships. I mean, this is your thing.
It is.
You talk about it on Twitter. You talk about it on Facebook. A little bit about on G+. So tell me a little bit about it.
Well, and of course I have the book coming out.
That's right. You do.
So I'm excited about that. I'm doing it with Catherine Rose.
Congratulations.
Who's Cat K Rose on Twitter. And return on relationship, simply put, is the value that's accrued to a person or a brand, by a person or a brand, through nurturing a relationship. So ROI is simple dollars and cents. Whereas ROI is the value that you achieve by recommendations, by sharing, by really building true relationships. And what I like to say is without expectation of something directly in return. So it goes a little bit to the pay it forward model. I don't like to use the word cosmic too much, but it's kind of about, when you do good, people will do good for you. And when you put yourself out, people will, especially in today's day and age, when you do stuff, people know about it. They see you answering questions on Twitter. They see you writing blog posts. They see you commenting on others' blog posts. They see people thanking you for the conversation or the talk or meeting with them. And people are that much more apt to do stuff for you. And with a brand perspective, first of all, we all would prefer to buy from people we know and like. I mean, it's the bottom line. It's the way human nature is.
Now, is that because I'm becoming your friend? Is that the reason why we want to build this relationship, this trust, this kind of?
Well, I like to be careful with the word friend these days, because Facebook has done a tremendous marketing job for themselves, in that they own the word friend and like now. So when you think of a friend, you think of something where you click on a button and you're a friend. What I want to do this year is take the word friend back and add value to it. So let's take the word friend back here in this conversation and say what I want brands to understand how to do is to really engage people, to look them in the eye. And people say, well, how do you do that on social platforms? I call it looking in the eye digitally. There's ways to really know who your audience is and what they do and know something about them, even when you're on these platforms with a lot of people. And what a lot of people don't realize is you say, how do I do that at scale? It's not always about doing it at scale. It's about people viewing you doing it at their scale. Meaning that if people see me online engaging Ramon and Fred and Lori and Sally and other people, they're going to say, wow, look at what this guy's doing. And it's going to get me much more value than just with the individuals who I am interacting with. It's going to be everybody else saying, wow, look how human this brand is. Look how they really want to help. How they want to be a part of our lives. How it's more than just about making money. Nothing wrong with making money. It's what every brand is there for.
And I think as consumers we understand that the company actually is in business to make money.
we've gotten a little bit away from it the last few years because of all these companies that start never making money. I mean, like, you know, and we think about how great it is. I mean, everyone calls Groupon this huge success. Groupon's a huge success for the founders, for the people that put in the original money. For the people using the service, it's not a success.
Yeah, for horror stories, yeah.
You know, and for the investors who are buying the stock now, when they never meet up to their valuation with earnings, it's not going to be a success. Sure. So, you know, I think that you're right, and it's important that we understand that value is being exchanged. And if we do that, then that's kind of where we go with return on relationship. If you do for others, they're going to do for you, whether it's buying your products, recommending your brand, sharing what you're doing, etc.
Got you. So what are those mistakes you see companies making in social?
Well, I think the most important thing is, let's not use the word mistake when the first thing I want to talk about. I think that many are not getting the value out of social they could be getting because they're not understanding the real power of it. Okay. They're using it as another tool in the marketing toolkit. So what it's become is campaign and initiative-based social. Okay. Is like any other kind of marketing or advertising. You go out, you reach an audience, you do something really cool, they like it, and it ends there. Right. And then so many of them aren't even continuing the conversation with these people. They start up all over again when they do their next campaign. So to me, that's the biggest mistake, because they're just not getting the value they could be getting. Right. I'm not saying they shouldn't be doing campaigns and initiatives. They need to weave it in to everything else they're doing to amplify that message, to build those relationships. Right. And what does building relationships really mean? Building that emotional connection. Every brand knows that's the brass ring. Yeah. Loyalty, trust. Every brand had loyalty programs, but none of the old model isn't working anymore because it's a matter of gaining points. So, and other mistakes, letting 25-year-olds run their campaigns. I mean, recently I was involved in something.
But let me ask a quick question. Is it the 25-year-olds or is it their inexperience in running?
You know, let me correct that, and I'm glad you pointed it out. It's the wrong demographic.
Okay.
So if I am doing a campaign to 25-year-olds, God bless them, I want to know what they're thinking. But, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the point is, there's so many brands that are trying to reach moms. And then they're talking, who's developing those campaigns? 24-year-old single women. You know, and until you have a kid, you don't know what it means to have a kid. You don't know what that heartache is, or the desires, or what you really want. So why not reach out to a community of moms? You know, John Andrews, the founder of our company. He was the head of emerging media at Walmart. He built Social Fabric based on the 11 Moms program that he built at Walmart. Okay. And every time I'm in a meeting with John and a major brand looks at me and goes, man, you got so many years of CPG experience, consumer packaged goods, and you were at Walmart and you built this Social Fabric. We're doing this program. How do you think we should be making this campaign? And I'll look at them and go, don't ask me. Let's ask the moms, or let's ask let's ask the people who you're trying to get at. And that's what we do. We never start a campaign without asking people first. So crowdsourcing. I mean, that's what we're doing here. Yep. We're crowdsourcing the proper information, the answers we need in order to create the right kind of outreach to the consumer.
Great. So, talking about crowdsourcing, you are on the advisory board for Crowdsourcing Week.
Yes.
With our buddy Epi Ludwig. Right. And so, how does that? Tell me a little about that. What does that mean?
Well, Epi and his partners have started something called Crowdsourcing Week. They're looking to bring attention and discussion around the whole crowdsourcing concept, which is spreading like wildfire with its applications into almost every area of what we do. I mean, Epi crowdsourced his partners through people that he met via me. Some of he knew. Well, some of it. I brought some people to the table. His partner Rose, who I think is the one who said, "Let's do this now." I made that introduction, and that was, social is crowdsourcing. Because what is it? We're on Facebook. We're getting everybody's opinions. I put up a post about something, and then 80 people give their opinions. Now, I can just let those opinions roll in and not really pay attention and say, wow, I'm popular, this is fun. Right. Or I can pay attention to those things. And what I do is I write my blog posts based on those. I do a lot of my marketing thinking based on things I post and the way people react. Sure. So Crowdsourcing Week is really cool because crowdsourcing is happening in finance, it's happening in development,
in medical.
It's happening in medical, it's happening everywhere. And crowdsourcing is nothing different than using various people's ideas to make something work, except what it's allowing it to do. It's allowing it to happen in this focal point of people being able to communicate so rapidly and quickly from all vast points of the world, and then do the work from different places.
That's what it really comes down to, right? Yeah. It's the fact that we have the internet today, we have social today, all these platforms today, so it's a lot easier to actually tap that crowd, tap that experience, and get solution to your issues through product service.
And it's going to get easier and easier as the tools get better and easier to use.